The following podcast contains mature language and adult discussion.
You know what I wanted to ask you, Kev? Watching that opening. The sound of the Mustang, is it distinct enough? Like, can you identify a Mustang? If I played you three vehicles starting up, could you pick the Mustang? No?
No, because like mine, like I have a different, like an upgraded exhaust system. And most people do because you get more horsepower.
So it's nothing in the actual engine. It's more about the exhaust system when you're
Some
hearing
of the 19, 20, 21 GTs have a real they're more throaty than a lot of the other muscle cars.
Okay.
But I'm a Mustang guy too, so I'm it's like, God, she's beautiful. If you're, that's great if you like blondes, but if you like brunettes, she's not as hot as the brunette. So that's, everybody has like some people like Mopars.
What was your first Mustang?
Well, our family had a 65. Yeah, 65. And it had the Landau top, which was the fake convertible top. Remember when they used to do that?
No. What makes it a fake?
It's like the top is black. It was a lime green car, and the top was black. But it
Oh, so the vinyl's like over the metal. It doesn't really retract.
No, it doesn't
there's
retract,
a roof.
but there's and it has the appearance of a convertible.
All right. Now, Bob worked at the plant, right? Was it?
Bob was a supervisor. He didn't get his hands dirty.
Right.
Yeah.
This is Kliq This, everybody. I'm Sean. This is Kevin. Back again.
So when I was a kid, Bob would like if it was a big deal, like a big weekend, or we're going to go see my Uncle Glenn in Cleveland or something like that. Like Bob would get what they would call a company car. And it would always be cool because you never knew what you're going to get. Like sometimes you bring home a station wagon with the country Squire with the fake wood on the side.
Oh, the family trucksters.
But I remember sometimes like if Bob would want to pimp, Bob would bring home the Lincoln. Bring home the Lincoln.
Was the Lincoln made on his line?
No, I don't know where I don't really. I do know this that I can't say I know this, but I think that this is a fact that the like the 59 the 59 Eldorado convertible was like was such a unbelievable success for Cadillac that it really had Lincoln on the ropes, and Lincoln put everything they had into the 62 Continental. And the 62 Continental was the first production automobile in the world that had a warranty.
Wow.
And that Kennedy was actually shot in a 62 that had been modified to look like a 63 because it was such a far superior automobile. I may be completely wrong, but
I'm for
fracking.
Okay. Thank you, Senator. What a week. Just peaks and valleys of emotion. The outpouring from listeners, non-listeners, somebody who said I unsubscribed when I heard your politics, but I heard what happened and I listened to your show. And I resubscribed because of the kind of man you are. So there were things that stopped me in my tracks like that, and just a lot of people sharing personal stories. A lot of people offered you, condolences and prayers for
yeah.
you and Tamara, and it was just thousands by the thousands. I try to look at every one of them, but I was struck by,
and of course, I'm like, oh man, like I'd already seen some hate and stuff. So I said, man, let me see the people that subscribe, and I got through about 25. Number 26 was, something about my politics,
yeah,
and then it was like, don't blow a quad carrying his casket, and I was just like, wow. Number one, he's being cremated. It's just gonna be really hard to blow a quad carrying a casket that doesn't exist. But and then some of the other things were like, um, well, don't you know that you can't go cold turkey? We're sitting out in Oklahoma someplace in a single roomed log cabin, and my wife's walking around with a basin of water, and I've got a roaring fire going, and we've got tea wrapped in the best linens, and he's sweating this out. My personal doctor is a abuse and substance specialist, and as it was we were given a very strict protocol to increase his benzos, uh, to make sure that he didn't seize and everything else. It was just like this wasn't we didn't WebMD this. It's like this was.
you handled it.
Yeah, it's like, come on. And then the other thing is, well, was he vaccinated?
Oh, brother.
Well, geez, if you read my Twitter, it says, centralist Democrat. So what do you think? I mean, I'm probably one of the few people on this planet that have 5 shots. I mean, I got both boosters, and I just got this last garbage, whatever the hell. I'm just, at this point, and I'll go get the flu shot now. It's just like, I just do it now because it's just, who cares?
Well, I considered those speed bumps in my scrolling through the thousands of well wishes.
Oh, no.
Speed bump.
Yeah,
You just
yeah,
keep going. You just
yeah.
really gotta just.
Yeah, and the thing is too that it's just like there were so many people that um some of the things that, and I'm not a Facebook person, so anything that was put on Facebook was either read to me by somebody in my family, a friend, or occasionally my wife would find one. Um, but it was an unbelievable. It you're always going to take the 200 people that spew hate, and those are the ones that probably are jarring, but it's the sea of love that makes you think, you know what, man, deep down inside, this country's still got a good heart. It's still good people, and
Yeah.
you know,
I was most happy, Kevin, when people talked about Tristen.
yeah,
And some of the news outlets I saw, Entertainment Tonight, played video of, I don't know where they got it, maybe from your Instagram. They had video of Tristen playing acoustic. I don't know if it was acoustic or electric, and then the piano and singing while he was playing the piano in your house. Maybe
yeah.
I don't know if they got them from you or what, but I was just
Probably off his Instagram or off his Facebook
or
feed.
maybe his Instagram. That's true.
Yeah, I think it's his Facebook feed, because I know that I saw a guy sent a tweet that came out and he kind of did like a collage, and he said that him and T had met on like a Facebook music club type thing, and they had kind of smarting each other up to different bands and things like that. And it was and then a lot of people that reached out to me and said things like, I'm really going to take a look at my life. I do drink too much.
Yeah.
To me, it's just like if one person, if one person changes their life and they don't, succumb to this and they don't put this this kind of grief, on anybody, which nobody wants. So nobody wants, And Timmy, I'm not saying in any way that I'm like this was my cross to bear. That's my boy. I'm whatever comes across this, I'm good with it. But if just if one or two people just out there, man, and like I talked to Matt Morgan, and he and I are working right now and trying to do something with autism. But the thing is, man, it's just like anything else in life. There's so many people out there that, and I remember when the Wounded Warrior thing, where there was that big scandal with the Wounded Warrior. And, all these people, they had Wahlberg and Atkins and a bunch of other big hitters, man. They were bringing in money, and the people in the back end are doing the old, all we got to do is, give 10%, and it's just by the book. So you really have to. And I had a situation with pediatric AIDS in Arizona, where I did a fundraiser, and we did an amazing job. And I'm not saying me, I'm just saying the community of Phoenix did an amazing job. They just showed up, and I mean, we had celebrity bartenders from all four major league outfits. I think Randy Johnson was one. I mean, it's just like everybody was. It was just, and man, I think that we were close to six figures when it was all said and done. And like the guy that was running it, like next thing you know, he's got a brand new van. I find out that him and his cohorts, got together and had like an $8,000 dinner. And it's just like, you just look at it. I called the guy up. I said, dude, I will Bob Crane you. And he said, I don't get the reference. I said, I will come to your house with a claw hammer and smash your skull. And he was just like, okay.
So you're vetting. You're vetting the foundations to pick one that, because I do have to say I did get some one email about from somebody who I don't know the validity of it, had some information about one of the autism organizations and made some accusations. I just wrote back and said we're going to figure it all out. But I do want to at least highlight, irrespective of the foundations, the hearts of two individuals that listen to this show. James McGoldrick. I got an email from Autism Speaks out of the blue the other day, and got me a little emotional while I was walking through Home Goods. Thanks. But I was like, wow, I thought it was spam. I was going to swipe it, and they reached out to me, I guess, through James McGoldrick, and said that donations have been set up in the name of Tristen Nash. And I just was like speechless. And then I saw on Twitter, Kara on Twitter posted her donation to Pathfinders for Autism. Once again, we're not endorsing or vetting these. We're just simply reporting that some folks have.
Please, when we finish this, let me get that information from you so I can follow up.
Yes, absolutely. So
thank you to the people to both of you that gave, and I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart.
And there may have been more. I don't mean to slight anybody, but literally thousands between posts and messages. And I'm trying to go through all of them. I'm trying to write you guys back when we can. I forward them to Kevin if they're addressed to Kevin, the emails. But there's just a lot. That's all, and that's a great thing that there's a lot. A Sea of Love, as you mentioned before. Not a bad film, too, if you ever saw that. Al Pacino, circa 19, I want to say 90, maybe.
Was that Ellen Barkin?
It was Ellen Barkin at her hottest. The haunting theme, that haunting song. But on a personal, from a personal standpoint, does the sun come out ever? How are you doing?
Oh yeah, the sun comes out. You can see I got a little sun on my face. I was out taking phone calls the other day by the pool, and I got some sun. So the sun comes out, and if you dumbass don't put on some sunscreen, you'll get burned. But I mean,
right.
it's just.
So in a less literal sense,
Oh, I know.
does the sun come out?
At this point right now, it's to be continued.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty fresh.
I also, some of T's friends from childhood, I caught posts from. I don't know if these are people that he still kept in touch with or that you knew, but they would tell stories about, man, I haven't seen T since 8th grade, and they would tell a story on Twitter, and all confirming that he was always like the nicest kid in the group.
And a troublemaker.
And a troublemaker?
You see, Isaac, Isaac told the story where they had to make and Isaac was his best friend since 6th grade. And Isaac tells a story it was on Instagram, where they had to have make a product. And theirs was like, I forget what it was called, but it was like a G ring or something like that. But it was like, it had one, but the other thing was it was to help you to rob banks. And
This is for school?
yeah. And like everybody else got to put their posters of their product out on she forbid Tristen and Isaac to put theirs on the, and Tristen took his and put rounded up tape and put it, and he stuck it to the ceiling because she couldn't reach it. And T just went out and put it on the ceiling like, So I thought, that's my boy.
Yeah, I didn't see that. That's great.
Yeah, I thought that. I just, and you go through that, and you know.
Max, too. We talked about him a lot last week, and he spoke to us off camera. I wanted to put him on camera. He was, last week, you heard us talking about and referencing Max, and he was in the room with Kevin. Max was one of Tristan's friends who came down upon hearing, but also volunteered to go with Kevin to the studio and fill in the Tristan role.
Max's family. Max is beyond Tristan's friend. Like Max is, he's like my son.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely need one. So,
do you when you go out, like when you go to the gym? I know you were at the gym earlier today. Are people? God, this is gonna sound like that's such a douche question, but like, are you getting like? Can you go anywhere and walk 5 steps without people coming up to you and offering condolences? Which is a beautiful thing. I mean, it comes from a great place, but
no,
I think at a certain point, I'd not want to leave the house just because I
walked into the first day I walked into the gym. Number one, like, it doesn't take courage to talk about your child. I mean, like I saw, you're the strongest man I know. It's just like, no, man, I'm hurting, and I want to vent. I want to, I want to put my kid over. I want people, I my whole life I tried to protect my family and keep them out of the public's eye. And now it's a time to rejoice his life, and it's just like, so I'm going to go out there and do as much PR as I can, because there's a lot of people I will guarantee you 1 million more people know who he is
absolutely
today than last week. So, and like the first day I walked into the gym, and I know that it's one of those things where people, I guess they expect you to curl up in a ball. I don't know what they expect. But like, I walked into the gym, and it's like a ghost. And this girl was on a stepper. Actually, like the stairs, like the moving stairs she was on. And she looked at me, and she kind of had this puzzled look. She goes, "Didn't you just get bad news?" And I said, "Well, my son passed away." I said, "Would that count?" And then she realized, like, oh, fuck. Like, I'm on these stairs and he's glaring at me and I got nowhere to go. And I said, don't worry about it. Like, and then a lady today came by and I was doing a set of pull downs and I got done and she just put her hand on my shoulder and she goes, it's good. It's good that you're in there getting your workouts in. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And that was more, and she's a personal trainer of some of the older people and the gym. So we're just like, I think it was almost like good for you, like like way to I'm just like, man, I got nothing else to do, If I don't go to the gym,
Guys, you remember a few weeks ago I talked to you about when I wanted to work out seriously. And I reached out to Shane Douglas, who was good enough to share a workout regimen with me, which I followed. Listen, not everyone has access to professional wrestlers with good workout regimens and discipline and advice they can share. And you know what? A great solution for that would be something like FITBOD. FITBOD, FITBOD. Okay, this is the workout app. Okay, for everybody. Now listen, building a workout routine. Okay, let's just take it from there. Building a workout routine, it shouldn't take hours of research. I am not a professional bodybuilder. I am not a professional athlete. Okay, I can't just walk into a gym and know what to do. I couldn't even at home with the equipment I have here know what to do. So this shouldn't be a challenge. I shouldn't be stocking up with a ton of gear. So FITBOD has come into my life, and let me tell you, the ease. I would pay 10 times what they are asking just for the ease of use here. Okay, first of all, getting started on a program is hard enough, and sticking to it, those are the obstacles, right? You got to start something. You got to know what to start, how to work out. The FITBOD app is going to create a workout routine, okay? And it adapts as you improve, and it uses the equipment you already have, okay? So they're not sending you out to find stuff. This is really incredible. So I just started this app, and the thing I like most is the ease of use and the layout of what I'm doing and going to do toward the goal and the progress that gets charted. That is enough inspiration for me for the first, week that I've been doing this to try, okay, and to continue to do it. It's inspiring me in addition to organizing my workouts. So listen, guys, using it is a dream. You just add in the equipment that you have, okay? You pick a fitness goal. FITBOD creates the routine for you, okay? So whether you've been missing gym time or you just hit a plateau, you feel like you're not going anywhere, this fresh start has never been easier. The app switches up the exercises so it avoids burnout and monotony, and you're not overtraining on certain things either, okay? And your program changes based on your personal progress, okay? So it is very much catered to you and your specific workout. A full year of FITBOD, guess what? Less than one session with a personal trainer. You kidding me? You got to try this out, right? There's no reason not to. So if you join FITBOD today and build a routine that grows with you without slimming down your wallet, we are going to hook you up, okay? Kevin is always looking out for you guys. You're getting 25% off your subscription. You're already ridiculous low subscription. You're going to get an additional 25% off, okay? If you try the app free at our link in the description or go to fitbod.me/Kliq. One more time, FITBOD, FITBOD.me/Kliq, and that's KLIQ. Thank you, FITBOD, for coming on the journey with us.
I don't know what the F I'm going to do. So
Well, but there is.
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck V I'm going to do.
Vuck. Yes.
VUCK.
Yeah, I mean,
Carney.
We were apparently just, YouTube started demonetizing some of our content. Comically, I would, first of all, I was shocked to learn that there was profanity on this show. It got by me, I guess.
I don't know if like my version is like a parallel universe. I don't know. I mean, some of the times I watch these back and I'm like, God, it sounds like Dr. Seuss, You know, it's just so rudimentary.
Yeah, it's very fluid, but it's funny. We as a test we tried this editing software on a show, which drops out to silence, doesn't beep, but it drops out the curse words. I played a show back, Kevin. I almost couldn't understand us. It sounded like there was interference or something that was dropping our signal out every 4 seconds.
Sounded like Bob Woodard today. On my way over here, he was talking about the tapes, and they had a horrible connection on the news channel that he was on, and it was like every other word, and I was just like, oh.
Well, that would have been this.
Yeah,
That would have been
like,
this.
oh.
But so I wanted to look. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and like when I started the show, I haven't watched the show back in a long time, but I watched this back because I wanted to make sure that I did T right. And there was a lot of, there's a couple of things, that here and there that was like, if I could do that over, I would. If I could do that over, I would. But then again, then it wouldn't have been organic, and it wouldn't have been,
wouldn't have been real.
Yeah, we had nothing. We didn't know whether that show was going to last a minute, 2 minutes, and so this is one of the funny things I thought is we kiddingly talked about before we went on, like, oh, this is going to be, great to drop that Blue Chew, which always got T to laugh. The Blue Chew always, T always laughed. He always would chuckle about, it's like, Dad, did you ever think you'd be pushing, erectile dysfunction? I said, well, it's not it's not erectile dysfunction. It's just, I said, just sharpening your pencil.
That's it. Giving you a rager.
Yeah. And so you started earlier in the show to do like a mock one, and you didn't finish it. And I never remembered you actually doing the spot.
You gave it to me.
I know.
With the Norm joke.
I know. But
Yeah.
it was just like, I guess because the Norm joke channeled me so much with T that I just kind of, like when somebody says like, hey, yeah,
Could snap you out of it. You were thinking about Tristen and watching Norm, and I'm talking about boners, and you had no idea.
And I just, so it's like, I was just like, wow, like, I didn't even.
I rolled you up, man. I rolled you up. I got the 3 count. I was waiting. Waiting, and there it was. I went with sharpshooter. Put you right in it.
The thing was, the 2 was, like somebody said, like, that was I saw one of those was one of the things that somebody said was, they said, yeah, I can't believe you, Blue Chew, like, the blasphemy of it all.
Listen.
And I'm just like, I didn't know a kid, man.
It's true.
But
listen, death is part of life. Erection's a part of life. And this is, I did see criticism about like ads today. Really? Ads? Well, listen, if you watched 60 Minutes and someone was, talking about a tragic event, they got to keep the damn show on the air. That's all. It wasn't disrespectful, I don't think. And,
well, I watch the news, and it's just like, I watch a cruise missile rifle into a residential housing area in Ukraine.
We'll be back after this ad from Bounty. Yeah.
Yeah. Once they show the explosion and get you hooked, then they're off and selling something. So it's just like, come on, man.
Yeah, that was annoying. The ad thing. But so here's, I don't want to lose this. Here is what you would be demonetized. This is actually it's called advertiser-friendly guidelines. So here are the things that are considered not advertiser-friendly. Okay, first, inappropriate language. Now we're going to check that box. Let's just see how many boxes we check. There are 2, 4, 6. Let's see. 14 categories in this green box you're looking at here.
Okay.
Inappropriate language, done. Done. That's usually done actually shortly after the credits. We've violated there. We're doing better this week, though. I just want to point that out. Now, violence. Is it discussion of violence? Let's see. Content where the focal point is on blood, violence, or injury. Well, we talk about wrestling every week. I asked you about gigging. That's the blood. We showed your...
I just said I was going to hit somebody in the head with a claw hammer.
Exactly. So we violate... What are we? 27 minutes, and we've already violated the first two. Now, adult...
Have we F-bombed yet?
I don't think there's been an F-bomb at all. Did we? Oh, no, we vucked with the V.
Vucked, yes,
Yeah.
we did vuck.
All right, so we're okay there.
Okay, and we're 27 minutes in.
Yeah.
Personal record.
I'm getting the DTs. We've talked about detoxing, and I think I'm going to need to put myself somewhere after this.
Before we go any further, one guy told me that anybody knows that when you're detoxing, as soon as you start to feel nauseous, you need to have a little drink.
Drink of alcohol.
Yeah.
During the detox.
So when do you finally detox?
I think that's the anti-detox.
I think that's called a bender. Boy, I feel like shit. I'm having a drink.
I heard that's what they do at Betty Ford. Like, you know, somebody's a little queasy, wheel out that cart with the absinthe.
We're going to give out some chips right after we have martinis.
Yeah. Adult content. No, that's a given. I mean, one of our advertisers. I mean, I think week one we had Rue McClanahan bent over, or Betty White or something, right, in the discussion. So that was rather quick.
I think it was B. Arthur.
It was B. Arthur. Okay, B. Arthur, right.
I mean, enough to the point where she makes our open.
She is in the open, right? I don't know if you guys caught that, smoking the cigarette
that's
behind Kev as he pulls off.
I think that a lot of people just look at it and just get that mod vibe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was always hot.
More Maud than
not the Golden Girls, more just that sassy Maud.
Right.
Like Maud in a house coat with just a dripping pelt.
Right.
Something like that.
Dripping pelt. There's one I'm putting in the file. Does that go into the adult content folder?
No, that goes into Scott Hall. That's when the Scots.
Oh, is it? We're going to do the dictionary someday. This is amazing. But highlighted on the screen here, it says, stating your comedic intent is not sufficient and that content may still not be suitable for advertising. So even if you're joking about Betty, what
if you were to talk? How about if we're talking about the Buffalo Bills dildo game?
Oh, the throwing. Right. That's news. I consider that news.
That's news. That just so happens to be that it's a dildo. We could say a rubber
phallus.
Yeah, we could say that that's a rubber penis.
Mm-hmm.
How
would your news anchors?
That's just not quite as thick as mine.
How would the news anchors down there in WESH or one of those Florida stations have handled it? And in the Buffalo Bills game this weekend, a sex toy was thrown. They would go high with it, I think.
Yeah, I think they'd have to.
Shocking content. Listen, there's a lot of shocking content we've talked about.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays, in Snowflake City, I mean, what
isn't shocking nowadays, right? Almost anything out of your mouth.
Yeah, it's just that's ridiculous.
Let's see here. We talked about the Bunkhouse Stampede starting a full hour and a half before the broadcast and 6,000 people attending in Uniondale. That's shocking to me. That's shocking. I don't necessarily feel that we should be demonetized for it, though.
Yeah.
Harmful or dangerous acts. Now, almost every segment of Florida Man or Jersey Guy has satisfied the harmful or dangerous acts.
But it's news.
Right.
We're not And I guess they're just saying content in general, because if the content does, you know,
Right. We're not promoting, though. There's that word, promoting.
that
We're-
promotes, right? We're not promoting. It's just we're playing a damn game. Get over it.
Hateful or derogatory content. We're not hateful folk here.
Unless we're talking about that damn petroleum supply chain. It just comes across wrong.
Just ignorant.
Yeah, we're really ignorant.
Yeah. Recreational drugs and drug-related content.
Not too much.
Too much.
I mean, occasionally, but I
some
think
road stories, maybe?
yeah, but a lot of the times, man, like everybody, back in those days, man, we all had scripts. So that's not recreational drugs. That's actual,
medication.
That's right. We were taking our medication.
Like Elvis. Elvis took anything the doctor gave him. Scylla.
I heard that the jackknife weed got us
Probably.
flagged.
Probably.
No. I'm
for real? Is that a fact?
That's a fact. And it's,
it's legal.
In 37 states, it's either medically or recreationally legal.
Yeah, that's just bizarre to me. So firearms-related content. We've talked about guns, but not necessarily content focused on the sale, assembly, abuse, or misuse of firearms. We've talked about guns in a general sense.
We've talked to
laws. We've talked
fake
laws.
fire. We haven't talked about fake firearms.
Controversial issues. Now, what an umbrella statement to put there. But there's your bag, right? Anybody you want to take off the air, that's where it goes. Controversial issues. According to who? Refers to topics that may be unsettling for our users and often the result of human tragedy. Okay, well, that's policy applies if the content is purely commentary and contains no graphic imagery. So there's the loophole right there. If they want to censor you, sensitive events, enabling dishonest behavior. Everyone's got a little larceny in them somewhere.
I mean, that the one before that would be, sensitive events. That would be a school shooting,
right?
Authoritative news report. I mean, it's like documentary videos, or I guess we could never talk about slavery. Or did DeSantis write this? Is this his thing?
This might be his list.
Is it? Yeah. Can we say gay? Because I know you can't say that in Florida.
Not in a school in Florida, you can't.
Right.
What would I say? Enabling dishonest behavior, inappropriate content for kids and families. Well, but not every show is kid friendly. Here, we're we have our disclaimer in the front. This is for mature audiences.
Right.
Oh, but this says content that's made for kids must be appropriate. This show is not made for. If anyone was confused up till now, if anyone had watched 16 episodes with dildo throwing, let me be the first to tell you that this is not a kid's show.
Well, but and I just saw Steve just sent a message on the bottom of my screen that says that there is a made for kids button that we do not press.
Okay, well, there you go.
So,
and Dom, yes, you should not show this to your niece any longer.
And then content we don't. It's too bad. I don't even. I did talk. I do talk about Bob's. Bob's smoking a carton of cigarettes a day
in a negative way. Too many cigarettes. So that's actually a public service that we're doing.
Part of what killed my father.
Incendiary and demeaning comments. No, those are usually sent to Kevin on Twitter. By others.
So I'm going to be able to. I should be able to charge people. The one thing I like is when they do say something negative to you and it's in your replies, there's no way for us to get rid of that. Like, we can't go in there and like you can on Instagram and
Right.
And Steve says, yes, there is. All right, Steve, get rid. I'll start making a shopping list.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Oh, Stevie, Stevie, get him. Yeah,
I said I had to delete plenty. So Steve, you actually you must see some of the love I don't.
Yeah, it never gets to you, which is better, I think.
Well, it's like anything else. It's, it's like I told that story where I was on the Chinese airline. The woman didn't lock the door, and I opened the door, and it scarred me for life. And it's like I just don't open the bathroom door.
So I guess outside of language, Kevin, I think we're okay.
Yeah, I don't think we, if we do cross any of these boundaries, it's never with malice.
No.
And I think that's important. If you're being an awful person and just, hold on, who's that?
It's just this word stuff anyway that's weird. Is that a Scott Tumblr there? That's just Scott Tumblr. Yeah. The word stuff is weird to me anyway. And, Carlin predates this conversation by about 40 years, but words have never hurt anyone.
Yeah, which Dom, and we all had the conversation. Dom, Steve, and ourselves had that conversation before.
Words have never hurt anybody. A word. And there's no such thing as a bad word. They're bad thoughts, bad intentions.
I believe, yeah. I
bad images.
I remember when I was a kid, the sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
We were taught that, and then YouTube teaches us differently.
Because it can absolutely scar you for life.
Steve, is there a demonetization for shitting on YouTube for 15 minutes on your show? Is that one? I didn't see that in the violation, so I think we're okay right now.
Well, I don't think we're shitting.
I love you. I love you, Joe. I'm complicated.
The word shit might get us.
Right.
But otherwise, we're fine.
We're defecating.
Yes.
Is there any reason why we can't defecate on YouTube for 15 minutes during our show?
Not at all. Free speech.
How about if we've eaten 2 cans of corn?
Peanuts, salad, anything that's still visible the next day?
Exactly. What was it? I don't remember eating blueberries.
Oh, brother. Something I also wanted to mention to you. We're in the wake of the hurricane down there. This is still, one tragedy usurps another. But people are still cleaning up down there, I'll be down there next week. I hope everything's functioning.
They came today on Atlantic and got some of the trees and shrubbery and that kind of stuff, but God forbid if you left that and picked up the mattresses and all that crap,
Right. Outside.
Yeah. It looks like you're in West Virginia, and somebody got didn't pay the
mortgage and got moved out.
No, it didn't pay the mortgage on the motel.
Right.
And there's 35 mattresses on the side of the road. It's just like, ugh.
But the hurricanes and weather tragedies are real opportunities for the scammers to come out of the woodwork.
Well, it's unbelievable.
So my father-in-law has a screen torn, in the back, right? The screen over the lanai in the back. I think 2 screens tore and were flapping, so he needed some screen repair. But you got to get up on the thing. They cover the whole back, so it's not just a ladder.
So it's like the ones that cover the pools.
Yes, exactly right.
Yeah.
So couple of screens. He calls somebody. They quote him like $250 or whatever. Now he's got the pictures of it from a neighbor, so he knows that it's just 2 screens flapping. So he gets a quote when he tells the guy on the phone. They're like, yeah, probably $250. We'll get up there. We can restring them or whatever they do. Okay. So the guys show up and they call him because he's not down there right now. So they know this. And so they get him on the phone. They're like, yeah, it's some of the bars are dented too. So we're going to have to pull out a lot more of the screens. $800 it goes up to. He goes, listen, mother flower, I'm going to text you the pictures I got this morning from my neighbor. And if anything on this house looks different, leave your business card so my lawyer can come pick it up in my door. But I'm thinking, like, my God, how often this must happen in a state like Florida.
They say that is the number one reason why our insurance is so high. It's number one is the roofing scams. So that storm happened how long ago?
Jesus,
Maybe
what are we,
3 weeks?
3 weeks. 3 weeks, yeah.
Okay. So I'm still this is the at least the third time that I've walked in here to tape it. Those red machines that haven't been plugged in since T and I walked in here 3 weeks ago and unplugged them because they were so loud. Now today I'm going to sling them out in the walkway. Like that's like I called, I said, you know, it's because the people that run these boards of these condos, it's not, I mean, they're older people, man. They're just they're getting, I mean, they're just getting played. And I called him. I said, this lady, Pat, I said, we spoke. I said, we were in complete agreement there. My unit had zero water. But the thing is, it's just like, they're still paying for this Phoenix 8200 and whatever the hell this other thing is.
The dehumidifiers are still in there?
Yeah, they're still in here. They haven't
3 weeks. I wonder what the rental is on that.
And they haven't been plugged in. They haven't been, like, T and I came in there because you couldn't hear, and we had to do the show, so we unplugged them. And I thought, this will be a perfect case because when they come in here, they'll be like, oh, they're unplugged. And if, like, the actual CSA or somebody had something to say, they'd say, Mr. Nash, why'd you wait? I'm like, well, I don't know, because I live there. Like, you got to be kidding me. Like, you stuck them in here because nobody lives here. You walked in here, there was no furniture. Like, oh, we can hide two or three things in here, easy. Well, they're still here.
Yeah.
Still here, and the giant semi trucks that drop them off are back in Tulsa. So you figure that out.
So now so this is going to be like a special assessment for this damage from your HOA fees?
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, that's going to be a hefty bill. But yeah, so the scams, it's a whole cottage industry down there in these hurricane states.
There's signs all over the place that say it is a felony to do contract work without a license in the state of Florida. They're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Right next to the Let's Go Brandon signs.
Right. There's plenty of those too. So yeah, but I'm just like, so what's the bill that they're accruing if they've got those units in how many units in the complex?
There's 6 buildings, 77 units in each building.
Man, ServPro, buy your ServPro stock.
I bought Occidental.
But you know what though? You know what might also be accruing in your life? Subscriptions. Subscriptions. I'm going to give you
before you get into this.
Yeah,
we talked about this earlier before the show, and I promise you, I am on this tomorrow.
I mentioned Rocket Money to Kevin as our newest sponsor. I'm like, salivated.
I was just like, I need this so bad.
Between Kevin, Tamara, and Tristen's interests, he's probably paying in triplicate for every subscription channel and service in the home. What the hell am I talking about? Rocket Money? Rocket Money. I'm going to give you a statistic. Right now. Do you know how much your subscriptions really cost you? Most Americans said they spend around $80 a month on subscriptions. The actual total average today, $200. People have no idea that they are spending $120 more than they think they are on auto-renewing subscriptions. So you could be wasting hundreds of dollars each month on subscriptions you don't even know about. There is an app that I'm loving, and Kevin will be loving tomorrow.
Yes.
That takes care of that. It's Rocket Money. It was formerly known as Truebill. Now, the app shows all your subscriptions in one place. You just put in your information, it finds all your subscriptions. And it cancels whatever you don't still want. Rocket Money can even find subscriptions you didn't know you were paying for. You don't even have to tell them. They're going to tell you what is rebilling on your cards. You might even find out you've been double charged by one of these services for a subscription. To cancel a subscription, all you do is hit the button, cancel. That's it. Rocket Money takes care of the rest. They literally go and cancel the subscription for you. Okay, so get rid of useless subscriptions with Rocket Money now. You're going to go to rocketmoney.com/Nash. Kev, maybe go to rocketmoney.com/me.
Yeah.
It could save you hundreds a year. That's rocketmoney.com/Nash for your special offer. Cancel your unnecessary subscriptions right now. Rocket Money. Thank you, Rocket Money, for coming on and saving us some money. It is time for the stiff one of the week. This takes us to RVD. RVD talking about a young Chris Jericho. Let's see what's going on here.
Wrestlers that you wrestled that while you were wrestling, you're like, this guy's a fucking dick.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Name names.
Yeah. Well, it used to be when I first got into WWE, Chris Jericho. You know
Really?
him. Yeah. We used to be friends. We used to hang out, go to the movies, whatever. Now we're in different positions in our career where he's promised the world by WWE and feeling like he hasn't been delivered upon. And I come in and he feels like I'm taking his place because now all of a sudden I'm beating The Rock, Steve Austin. They're giving me a mega push. And according to Paul Heyman, who doesn't mind lying. He doesn't mind telling you something that's completely bullshit. But he was telling me about these conversations Chris would have, about shouldn't that be my spot? Shouldn't I be having that match? And anyway, they had us wrestle a lot. And through the experience of wrestling with him a lot, at that time I found him to be such a political bitch.
RVD on Chris Jericho. You always got along with Chris though, right?
I got along with both those guys.
Yeah.
They both sent me condolences during these things. So
Political is a word that you always hear. Did you say this quote? Somebody said it, and it was so great. Everyone talks about, I'm going to butcher it probably. Everyone talks about the wrestling business.
that's me.
Until you start treating it like a
Yeah,
business, and then it becomes a negative, right?
It's always everybody says it's the business, and as soon as you treat it like a business, you're a dick.
Exactly right.
That was my term. Yeah, because that's the truth.
So the word political that you always hear, that's like an offshoot of that. And this is another bucket term. It's come to mean everything from, somebody trying to engender favoritism with The Office to keeping guys out of spots, I guess. Is that what political is?
Okay, so to me, it's just like, if you're pushing to get a spot and it's I guess that's being political. Like I think I should be here. I think I should be here. I think I should be here. And while I was world champion, Shawn Michaels, one of my dearest friends, was lobbying on a daily basis for my spot.
Mm.
And the thing is that in my heart, I knew that it meant way more to Sean to fulfill his life than it did me. Like I became the night I became the world champion in Madison Square Garden. That was like when I saw my name after Super Shredder, and I just went, check.
Mm-hmm.
Like things
Did
that
it.
I want.
Did
yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah. Been there, done
So
that.
I mean, did I love being in that position? I didn't lie. But like to me, like if you're promising, you know, if you're promising, sexual favors or something to get a spot, well then yeah, but you're. But what it comes down to is, I think that the other guy just is so like Rob's like me. I remember Rob and I don't know what happened, but for some reason, I think I said something that didn't particularly go well with the office in WWE, and Rob did the same. And we went around the horn for like a month and a half, 2 months, and it was me and Rob versus Triple H and Ric Flair, and they took turns beating one of us each night. And I don't know if it was supposed to be like 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 neither one of us, we were just like, I don't remember, like it's like we're like in one of the top matches on the card, and we're all getting paid, like all four of us are getting paid the same. Like I'm cool with that,
Mhm.
As long as I'm getting paid, I'll do a job. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. I remember from one of our You Shoot shows, from Kayfabe Commentaries You Shoot, I'm asking Steve on the message now to find the clip we can play. I authorize it. We can play it. Was that going to get us demonetized because I played a clip from another show? I don't know. But he talks about, he famously asked Taz to pick a hand before he smacked him in the face. And so we played a game, Pick a Hand, where we brought up a name, and we wanted Rob to tell us if there was ever a time where that person might have been asked to pick a hand, or he wanted to, and I believe, we'll see it on the clip now, McMahon was a pick a hand, and maybe this is the actual story about what he did to lose some shine with the office and have to alternate job with you throughout the country to Hunter and who was it? Hunter and who?
Rick Flair.
And Flair. Okay. So Steve, you able to find that? It should be from a YouTube. It should be called RVD Pick a Hand on You Shoot. And I want to hear what the McMahon Pick a Hand was, because I think I decidedly okay, here we go. I was thinner. My hair wasn't as gray.
A dick, but I think in this, for you, we're going to call it pick a hand. Who in the day would have been told to pick a hand?
I think
We
this
don't know the
video has
story.
Cablevision.
When Rob confronted
It's very
Taz,
choppy
he
for me.
told him to pick a hand before he hit him with it. So who would have been told to pick a hand back in your, I know you're in a different place now, we got the preamble, but I need to know who would have come up on the bad side of a RVD confrontation in the locker room. We already got the Taz story, so I'm going to skip him. Bob Holly.
Bob Holly, I've had nothing but respect for.
Okay. Bubba Ray. Bubba Ray would have had to pick a hand at one time.
It could have. I mean, we had the kind of tension that could have possibly ended up in a backstage confrontation. Okay. It never did, but we would we would straight up back and forth punch each other in the face hard almost every night in the ring. It'd be like, bam, receipt, bam, bam.
He was getting
bam,
so close to me right
forth,
there. It was unbelievable.
Expecting the other guy to back down, and we had that kind of, yeah.
John Cena.
No.
Okay. Shane McMahon.
No.
JBL.
JBL could have possibly.
He picked a hand.
He could have back in the day. He never did anything personal to me, but back in the day, his vibration bothered me because he's, he was a bully. And I would see him bully like Rene Dupree a lot. And whoever thought he could get away with it, he was a loudmouth Texan, and he would like be disturbing and cut right through the piece. So even though he didn't do anything to me, I was bothered because I couldn't be zenful and vibrate RVD's pace while there's someone over there going, oh, hell yeah, hey, how about that, hell yeah. And I would just, a lot of times I would get my boots and I'd pick him up and I would just walk out and I'd say, I'm gonna go fucking dress in the hallway. And I don't even know like if he ever picked up on any of that. I don't remember. I mean, he might have. It seemed like, but I don't. I mean, there was never, like anything building, and I feel strongly that he wouldn't. That he would be passive in that. But I do remember like Paul Heyman one time saying, who you riding to town with? You should get in the car with me and John. I'm like, how the fuck do you ride with that guy? Come on. But I'm a loner, and I wouldn't expect anybody to be able to ride with me either.
You would have been wrestling legend if you walked up to JBL in the locker room and said, listen, I'm no longer centered. You've destroyed my zen with your Texas accent. Pick a hand so I can punch you in the fucking face.
Well, here's the
You'd
thing,
be
bro.
legend.
You know who did?
Hitting someone for destroying your
Joey Styles
zen.
did it for me. When Joey Styles knocked JBL out, I mean,
It's like a
how do you
watch-along.
recover from that psychologically? I mean, Joey Styles just knocked you the fuck out. You know what I mean? Much like the pick a hand to Taz, I feel like there was a bully that needed to be, but it was cool. I mean, he's very humble now.
Yes.
Now that he's commentating and putting the shit over that he can't do, he's like, no, I'm just saying, who can do RVD shit? Come on.
I hear
he
you.
puts me over strong, like, wow, and he probably is impressed. Come on, I'm 44 and I'm still flying. Who's not impressed? Except New Jack. Who's not impressed?
He meditates now, JBL, I think, and that's probably where he found some of the groundedness. Raven.
No. I remember getting hot at him one time overseas. It was like a real short moment where I was mad at him, and it didn't. It was a one-sided heat, so it wasn't like So I wrestled him in was it Portugal? It was somewhere overseas, and he something before the match like. Whenever I would try and
Steve just informed me this is an
talk,
18-minute segment.
Yeah,
can you find Vince for me?
I was frustrated,
Just bring it up.
and he blames it on something else.
While he does that, if that's not an absolute 100% reason why you should smoke cannabis, to hear a cat say, man, like, he just would just basically just barge through my zen.
Yeah. I can't be zenful.
Yeah, it's like I love him, man. He is just he's the best. He's
He's a good dude.
And it was just like when you're gonna punish two guys and they're both like the most just cavalier two cats on earth, it's just like, all right.
Yeah. Rob's pretty chill. I mean,
yeah.
to piss him off, you have to go. Rob's good for like the random text too, like at about 4 a.m. my time. He's in Vegas, so it's 4 a.m. I'll get a text. He's like, just to remind you to turn off your sound when you go to sleep. Yeah, thanks, Dick. Do it anyway. Did you come across? Okay, here's the Vince.
That was the end of it.
Vince McMahon.
He could have got one.
Could have got one.
I thought about it. I actually thought about saying pick a hand.
One particular instance?
Fuck yeah, and I got nothing but respect for Vince McMahon. He's always treated me with respect, and that's been our relation. Not that I know him real well. I've never really bonded. I've had very few lengthy conversations with him. And one of them was about going overseas and entertaining the troops. So when I got to WWE in 2001, first off, adjusting to that monotonous, never-ending schedule and the politics both made me not want to be there. I would call my wife sometimes the first year that I was there, and I'd say, if you don't talk me out of it, I'm going to the airport. I'm fucking coming home right now. I'm fucking going nuts. I hate it, and it was like dealing with, like I said, the politics, and then just, it was nonstop. It's boom, 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 boom. Anyway, what I found to inspire me to continue was in December, like 2 months away, we're going to have 10 days off. I can make it till December. Finally, we get there, and it's like 2 weeks before we're going to have these 10 days off, and they had this big meeting. We're going to go overseas on our vacation and entertain the troops. And they said it's going to be voluntary, but they expect us all to go. I was like,
What happened?
Have a good trip. I'm not going. And then so I had to talk to Vince afterwards. Vince's like, Rob, I appreciate your your thoughts on this. Okay, cool, thank you. But I think you're going to see this is one of the best experiences of your life. I said, you don't understand. I'm not going. He says, well, I hear you, Rob, but you should talk to some of the other wrestlers about. I said, Vince, I am so now, the last thing I want to do is go to the desert and spend my time, dodging bullets. It's not even. It wasn't political. It wasn't about me not supporting the troops. It was about I
Mental
hated
health.
traveling.
Mental
I wanted
health.
to be home so bad. And the last thing I wanted was, to spend my time. And since they said it was volunteering, I said, no, I'm not going. It became a really big deal. All the boys would come up to me and say, man, I wish I could get away with saying no like you. I don't want to go. I said, what do you mean? I don't have it in my contract that I can have balls. I'm just saying I am not going. Should have been it. But Vince was persistent. And Johnny was telling me that Vince was expecting me to go, and it got to a point where I was waiting for him outside of his office one date night to talk to him, and I had in my mind pick a fucking hand because I was so offended because I've already told you, and maybe I didn't say it clear enough, but I am willing to accept any consequences. Fire me, fine me, whatever. I'm telling you, man to man, you will not see me. On that flying warehouse with no seats or whatever the fuck people. It sounds horrible what people talk about, but anyway, I am not doing that. And if this guy thinks he has so much power and control over me that he can actually physically cause me to not be in my home, and he's got that. So I was so offended. I was thinking of telling him to pick a hand, and
There it is.
Paul Heyman told me not to. He said that would be a mistake.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. So maybe that was the result. That was a result of his not going overseas. Did you ever do one of those tours?
Mm-mm.
Because it was
No.
voluntary.
I wasn't working for the company when they went. I was scheduled to go to Kuwait, but then I went to WCW.
Right. Not because of that, obviously.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I could just imagine. What are the accommodations? Are you staying in a hotels, or like where do they put you?
No, yeah, dude, you're on. Those are
you in barracks? Are you?
You're in green zones. Yeah, you're in green zones.
Can you take? Would you be able to pack your ChilliSleep mattress topper to go to Kuwait for your cot? Maybe.
No,
They wouldn't let you do that.
I don't think so.
Well, Jesus, listen, everybody. If you're not going to Kuwait, you need to invest in this. Science tells us the best way to achieve and maintain consistent deep sleep is by lowering your core body temperature. Temperature-controlled sleep repairs muscle after a hard day's work and improves cognitive function, so you always start your day feeling sharp and alert. Sleep Me is the new home for ChilliSleep. I've used this. It's on my bed upstairs. And it is exactly as advertised, guys. You can go lower with it, down to 60 degrees on my unit. You can 60 degrees on my unit. You can go up to like 115 if those 3 dog nights when you need a little more warmth. Sleep Me makes the coldest and most comfortable sleep systems available, is what I'm really trying to say here. They create the environment that meets the body's natural need for lower core temperature, promoting deeper and restorative sleep. ChilliSleep makes the Ooler. That's what I have. The Cube, the Doc Pro sleep systems, water-based temperature-controlled mattress toppers that fit over your existing mattress to provide your ideal sleep temperature. These mattress pads keep your bed at the perfect temperature for deep, cold sleep. These sleep systems are designed to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and give you the confidence and energy you need to power through your day. They also just launched the new Doc Pro sleep system, 2 times more cold power than other models. It's whisper quiet, has a tubeless mattress pad design. Listen, pair it with the new Sleep.me app for your advanced device control, sleep scheduling. You can control it all from the app. Guys, go to sleep.me/Kevin. You'll learn more, but more than that, you're going to get 25% off your purchase of any new Dock Pro, Cube, or Uller sleep system. The offer is available exclusively for Kliq This, the Kevin Nash podcast listeners, and only for a limited time. That's sleep.me, sleep.me/Kevin. Take advantage of this offer. Thank you, Sleep Me. Kev, you using your Sleep Me?
Yes.
I hope you are.
Yes.
Very good. Well, that gets us to Florida man or Jersey guy this week.
Are we going to have to like pay Rob like some kind of monetization for that 20-minute segment?
That was me. That was ours. Who's Rob?
I'm
Rob Van Dam?
Yeah. It was a joke.
I thought you meant Feinstein. I thought you meant it was a Feinstein.
You're still,
I was like, do I look like Feinstein?
You're still caught up on the fracking.
Yes. All right, Jersey guy or Florida man. Here we go. 2 headlines, actual headlines. One out of New Jersey, one out of Florida, and Kevin is going to see if he can get it. Man caught trying to rob the same bank twice in 2 days. And man wakes neighbors by screaming and pretending to be a firework. Man caught trying to rob the same bank twice in 2 days. Man wakes neighbors by screaming and pretending to be a firework.
I think the guy that was a firework was, I think that's Florida man. And I think the guy that robbed 2 banks was a Florida man that moved to Jersey.
That lived in Jersey, was vacationing in Jersey.
Yeah, but
You got it. That is correct. Here, let's take a look at this charming gentleman. This Newark man caught after robbing the same bank twice in 2 days. There he is, 50-year-old, robbing a bank and then returning to the same bank the following day. I guess it went so well for Kenneth Stassa, who entered the Wells Fargo on Bloomfield Avenue shortly after 9 a.m. on June 12th, passed the teller a note saying, "Give me $1,000. I have a bomb." He went for $1,000? Really?
He went with a bomb? Was it like the Boris and Natasha, the black gimmick with the fuse?
Spy versus spy action here.
Right. Oh man.
Yeah. So then I guess he went back the same day and tried the same thing, unsuccessfully the second time. And then let's head to Florida here. What part of Florida here? Cape Coral. Man wakes neighbors by screaming and pretending to be a firework. Man protesting. Oh, he was protesting pyrotechnics. Was caught on a Cape Coral security system screaming around 3 a.m. on a Friday morning. Firecracker, firecracker, boom. So he went with a very realistic audio experience. And, well, dogs were barking outside, and the guy was screaming so loud, said Sarah Warnicki, who captured this all on camera. Love me some Florida man, Jersey guy.
Mm.
So, yeah.
What if they would have teamed up and he would have went in with the first guy in Jersey and did the sound effects had the bomb went off?
You know what?
This is what you're going to hear. Go ahead, Jim.
Exactly. You don't give me that $1,000, Dr. Evil says.
Yeah, I want that in 5s.
The realistic explosives.
Mm.
Good God. Crazy world we live in, Kevin.
Yeah.
Crazy world we live in here. DraftKings, ladies and gentlemen, NBA fans, the wait is over. Basketball is back. Kev's a big. So you watch college basketball and pro?
I watch a little bit of college. I love the NBA.
Right.
Yeah. I'll watch a G League before I'll watch college.
You have the gimmick. What's that thing where you get all the games on your TV, the season pass or whatever? No.
Yeah.
You a Pistons fan?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I guess tell you, they have some players. It's just there's a chance that they could get into that 8th spot.
I heard Joe Dumars is a big fan of this show. I don't know if you're
Huge.
aware of that. But listen, the best thing about NBA being back, Kevin, is it is sitting right there on your DraftKings Sportsbook app. DraftKings, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers make any $5 NBA money line bet, and you get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Check this out. In addition to the usual bets, everyone can boost their winnings up to 100% with DraftKings. You could stepped up parlays, same game parlays, that where you're going to bet on a couple of factors within one game. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Opt in, place a stepped up same game parlay today, and they increase your odds. This past weekend, I hit 2. I hit a parlay in the Giants game. And I had a stepped up 20% there, so I took $150 out of that game. And then I hit a second one in the Chiefs game. I had Mahomes and who the hell was the other quarterback? I had them both to throw 300. I think they had that by the end of the first half. And Kelsey to have more than I think 75 yards. So I had that locked up. $100 there. $250.
I had Russell Westbrook to completely destroy the Lakers' chances of anything.
So you did
for the year.
Oh, for the entire year. 0-3, and so you're off to a good start.
I think he's shooting 9%. I swear, he's shooting like 9%
from the field.
From 3.
Oh,
he's shooting like 9%
okay.
from 3. It's unbelievable.
Guys, with bigger payouts than ever, DraftKings Sportsbook is where I go to bet on the NBA. You guys should too. You could have fun conversations like me and Kevin are doing right now, talking about the games and how much you made. Here it is, guys. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the promo code, get ready, TKNP, the Kevin Nash Podcast. Make any $5 bet this week, and you're going to get $200 in free bets if your team wins. And you can stretch that for weeks. So you're going to go to DraftKings Sportsbook, promo code TKNP. Minimum age 21. Eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for more details.
And anybody that should know this if they've never wagered on any kind of a sporting event, that there's nothing that makes a sporting event more enjoyable than having some juice on the game.
Absolutely. Even if you drop $5 and do a parlay, right? Turn it into $25 or $50,
and they're giving you 200.
Yes. You're playing with their money.
Come on. There's no reason not to jump on DraftKings.
Let me just think for a minute here. I don't know if there's anything preventing this from happening, but if you're gonna, you get the 200. I place my $5 bet. I get my 200 in action now, right? I can place any game. If I take both sides of a game with their money, it's a guaranteed win, isn't it?
No, because it's a wash.
No, but it's their money. The winnings are yours, but the money that you lay out is theirs. So I'm laying out DraftKings 25 on the Lakers, DraftKings 25 on the Pistons. Whichever team wins, that goes in my bank account. I think I've gamed the system right here.
No, that's not how it works.
I'm gotta look into this more.
That's why every time you go to Las Vegas, there's another 23,000 seat, arena and another 18,000 seat hotel.
I think I'm onto something here. But you see, I violated one of the things there, right? Didn't they say any illicit behavior or something like that? I think I just violated that. Like when I realized that if you put a stamp on a letter, if you go to mail a letter, if I want to mail you a letter, Kevin, and I put your address as the return address, and I just put any address on the regular address here, but your address is on the return address, and I throw it in the mailbox without a stamp, they're going to send it to the return address because there's no postage. But your house is the return address. I just sent you a letter without a stamp. That's how my mind works when I'm on the toilet and I forget to bring my phone into the bathroom.
Please don't do that.
Ask Nash. We always ask you guys to these Ask Nashes, Kev, are from before last week, because well, wasn't much to ask based on the past week. We kind of have all the facts, and we don't need to. Anyone who asked questions didn't deserve to be on the Ask Nash, quite honestly. So these are from prior. Nerdy for Life 79 says, "Love the podcast each week with you guys. Just watched the first 2 sold out pay-per-views. Looked like you guys were having fun driving on the back of the garbage trucks.
Oh my God!
Any stories about that night? Looked like a snowstorm."
Yeah, it was so much fun. I think that Scott and I during the course of that night said more F-bombs than we have during the 16 combined
Episodes of the show.
It was, I don't know who thought that was, it was, I swear, like the wind chill was like minus 40. I remember leaving Sioux Falls, and I got up that morning and I was taking a cab to the airport, and I got in the car and it was snowing sideways. It was brutally cold, and we're in Sioux Falls. And I said to the dude, I said, "Hey man," I said, "did you do anything else besides drive a cab?" The guy looks like in the rearview mirror and says, like no. I said, "You do know they have these in Miami Beach, right?" Like, if this is what you do, like, really? Like, you could be picking up a minimum, this, the quality of exotic women that you're going to pick up, on Ocean Drive as opposed to Main Street and Cedar Rapids has got to be a little bit of a push.
What's keeping you here, bro? Yeah.
Yeah, right?
But so you obviously you remember the shoot. But any who came up with that?
Probably the only time in my life I hated Eric.
Right.
I hate.
How does he pitch that to you? Were you like, what?
I'm sure that Scott and I would like when we were told what was going to happen. I'm sure Scott and I went to our happy place.
You'd have to.
Yeah.
You only had to hold on, right? I mean, let him kick in.
But yeah, because we had to make it look like we were having a good time. So we're going, whoa, 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 Cedar Rapids, 29 degrees below zero, snowing in our face, and we're on a nasty ass garbage truck. Like, really? What's cool about that? Was the most uncool pay-per-view ever in the history of pay-per-views. That's the modern day bunkhouse stampede right
Today's
there.
bunkhouse stampede.
That sold out was brutality.
You know what wasn't brutal? The check.
Well, the check was every 2 weeks. It didn't matter.
It's still a noble senior. How much of a payoff did Mad Dog Vachon get when Kev tore his prosthetic leg off?
I know it's his idea. I don't know what his payoff is. Back in those days, I'd say at least a crisp $250.
Guarantee.
And a ham sandwich.
Your lunch meat catering you're talking about back then?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good times.
It might have been on this show you talked about making sure he gave you the Iggy so you didn't pull his good leg off.
I said, dude, feed me the gimmick leg. Worst case scenario, I'm going to dislocate your hip socket and the other one.
Oh my God. Ray, would you ever consider doing a live stream podcast? Oh, you do that already? I'm not aware. We are in talks of doing some special stuff coming up for you guys. You guys have been really dedicated. Our audience grows every week, guys. And
we have a bet with Steve that he cannot find another orange rabbit. So that's the bet.
Jetta?
Jetta.
An orange Jetta. Yeah, Jetta. No, it wasn't a VW. It was VW Jetta.
Jetta.
Not the bug. All right, let's keep going here. Thomas Hey, Kevin, Sean, love the podcast. Was just wondering if Kevin remembers a story I heard Scott tell when he and Kev went to confront Bischoff after WCW fired X-Pac, with Kev kicking down the door to Bischoff's office and yelling at Eric over the incident. Do you remember it?
Vaguely.
This is more of the CTE stuff?
Yeah, I think it was.
You kicked the door down and the Nitro Girls would.
I kicked the door down and the Nitro Girls were in there being casted.
Right.
So I think the door hit the Korean girl.
Someone had to. Listen, folks, if your memory is challenged, like Kevin's, you may need someone to talk to, and BetterHelp is a great.
Oh, I definitely again. This is the third one in a row that I'll be. I've already got the sleep system, so I definitely need to get my shit straightened out because I'm probably just on my phone alone. I've got probably 29 virus blockers at $9.99 a year or whatever. So I need that, and
you're going to do the Rocket Money.
I'm doing the Rocket Money. I'm definitely going to be. I've already got I'm sleeping in my body
in the ChilliSleep. Yep. You're doing DraftKings already.
I'm definitely. I'm all over that. So now, go ahead and pitch this because the big man need this bad, brother.
Now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp.
You know, Kev, I think we all need. I've said to people in my life, I've never met anyone that couldn't have benefited from therapy of some kind, from talking to somebody, in some form or fashion. We carry baggage, and listen, it's all problem solving, right? It's all about problem solving. Whatever you're going through, whatever events are foisted upon you, not everybody has the constitution to go it alone, nor is it wise at times. So if you're in that rut too, if you're stuck fighting through it, trying to do it alone, focusing on the problem, not the solution, having a difficulty finding the solution, wanting to be heard, wanting to have an independent voice to talk to, it is helpful. And BetterHelp is such a godsend because it brings therapy to you. Okay, so if you have been thinking about therapy, thinking about problem solving, no one does it for you. You find it, but you find it sometimes through hearing yourself talk through it, hearing different perspectives, an independent perspective. So if you are thinking of giving that a shot, BetterHelp is going to be a great option for you. It's convenient, accessible, affordable, and it's entirely online, guys. You don't have to leave your home for this. You get matched with a therapist after filling out a brief survey. And listen, you can switch therapists at any time. So if you want to be a better problem solver, if you have some stuff you want to talk through, we've been swimming through this stuff for a week. And we've been swimming through it with you guys because I see your comments and I see how many of you, we were talking about this before the show, Kevin was saying, how many people come up to him, offer condolences, and have a similar story. So if you want to be a better problem solver and work through some of your stuff, therapy can get you there, guys. So I want you to visit betterhelp.com/Kliq, Kliq. You get 10% off your first month, okay? That's betterhelp.com/Kliq. Everyone can benefit from it, Kevin. You don't have to be in a sea of tragedy for it. Talking to somebody can benefit anybody.
But that doesn't hurt.
No, it doesn't hurt to.
No, it doesn't hurt to be completely,
to have something heavy.
Be completely unraveled. That it doesn't hurt.
Marcos Love says he's a big fan of you and the podcast. Thanks, Sean. I had a gym teacher in middle school, I'm 30 now, who said he played ball with you or coached you. Do you remember Robert Kloss? Kloss. Is this challenging your memory, or
Look, now this is for you.
No, this is for you.
No, this is for you. Sean, he coached you.
No.
Read it again.
But I did play. I'd already given up. I played basketball until high school. And
Read,
I realized
the question.
It says, I'm a big fan of you and the podcast. And then in parentheses, he says, thanks, Sean. But he's talking to you. He threw me the thanks, but he's talking to you. I had a gym teacher in middle school, I'm 30 now, who said he played ball with you or coached. Do you remember Robert Kloss? So if he was 30 and he was in
ball is in basketball?
He said, it just says played ball with you. So he would be, let's do the age thing. If he's 30 now, he was in middle school about
Dude,
20.
I'm 63, so this
15 years ago.
This is 30. We're 33 years apart.
Yeah, but it was his gym teacher. So you could have been this guy's gym teacher. He's 30. You could have been his gym teacher 15 years ago.
Yeah, but he would have coached me. This guy would have coached me.
But he said played ball with or coached you. So obviously he didn't coach you, but played ball with you. All right, you don't remember Robert Kloss?
Yeah, I think what had happened was he was actually the guy that restrung the door after I kicked it in and hit the Nitro Girls.
Right.
So
okay.
I have Robert Kloss.
No. Okay. Mario Cavone. Absolutely love the show. Big fan of both your work. F, marry, kill. This is the Sean edition. F, marry, kill. Michaels, Waltman, Oliver.
I have to F, marry.
You got to F, marry, kill.
And who are my three choices?
3 Seans. Michaels, Waltman, and Oliver.
I'm sorry, I'm going to marry Waltman.
We are kind of married anyway.
I'm going to marry.
If you split, we have to divide some.
No, I'm going to marry.
Property.
Yeah, I'm marrying Waltman. I'm not doing that. It's dudes.
Well, but you remember we did a Kliq edition of this on Kayfabe, and we gave each of you the F, marry, kill of each other, and all of you killed Scott.
I didn't kill Scott.
Yes, and we played it for him. For next week, you're going to have to find that for next week, Steve.
I must have. I'm sorry. It's fucked up.
Oh, come on. He had a blast with it, too. Hey, Kev. You smiled a lot tonight.
Yeah, I'm that clown. I'm smiling on the outside. I'm fucking bawling on the inside. I've sat here all night. I swear to you, and during that mental health, that I'm sitting across, and T strategically has his chair where it's half, I always see half his chair. But when I look in the mirror behind him, I can always see all of them. And it's
Didn't hear him once tonight. That's weird.
No.
That was weird. Last week.
I actually had, you know how you want something so bad? And he was in my dream the other night. And I woke up and it was just for a moment, just oh God, thank you. So
I said that sentence to my wife we were talking about you guys and about the living with it. Not the 2 days after, the living with it. And
every time we walked by his room, if he ever had anytime he had his door open, we'd always just say, "Hey, T." So now his door's open all the time. So
you still say it?
Yeah, every time. Yeah. Yeah.
And you should.
And so does Tamara.
You should.
Yeah.
I said, before I came down, I said, this one's going to be the hardest one because we're
'cause
going to
now-
act like
yeah.
everything's normal, and it's
Yeah,
not.
no. And now it's we went on adrenaline. Saturday we went on adrenaline, and now it's fucking raw nerves, and there's a huge difference. And for those people that tuned in again and are hanging in there with us, I thank you all so much. And I think that, or hopefully you guys will get a chance to see this process unfold week by week. And, I don't know how great, I mean, I think the fact that we let RVD have the wheel for
10 minutes?
Yeah, 10 or 15 minutes, whatever it was, just so we could, not have,
Stop doing the monkey dance for a few minutes.
It's like, ugh. And then just me having, like, this is the first time that I've been in here alone. So Max was here last week on Saturday. So this is my first time. Well, I can't say I'm here alone. I do have my dehumidifiers.
They're unplugged. So.
Yeah, they're going to be slung out of this studio here in about 5 minutes. But
tape it. We'll run the end credits over you throwing them off the balcony.
Oh man, you know what? And I don't know how much these things. I'm sure it's astronomical if you do that, but probably the cost of them's probably about $4 or $5 grand. It would be great just for my personal well-being right now to toss these son of a bitches out in the middle of where the courtyard is, where the cobblestone is, and film it like Dave Letterman when he used when he used to drop shit. Drop your Phoenix humidifiers or dehumidifiers or whatever they are. But then again, that might be violent, and we'd probably be demonetized.
We would definitely be demonetized from that.
And I would go down and defecate on them, and that's not a good visual. So.
Well, I'm happy to remind everyone that Kliq This is a production of Butch and Sundance Media, created by Kevin Nash, Tristen Nash, and Sean Waltman, produced in association with Podcast Heat, producer Steve Kaufman, graphics by Dom D'Angelo, title sequence and audio edit by Wesley Burleson, theme song by Dale Oliver, technical research by Tristen Nash, still there.
Yeah.
Good, let's leave it.
Fuck yes. Please.
He got on by yourself tonight, so he obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Well,
I mean, I actually, I gave him the Jesus take the wheel.
That's the only way it got done. Was T's hand there.
Yeah. Because I was Patsy Cline's pilot when I had my hands on it.
So Kev, T, we doing another one?
Hey T, you want to do another one? He says, man, after that last one, we got train keeps a rolling.
All right, train keeps a rolling.
All night long. T didn't like Aerosmith.